Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video series here. Today, we'll be running back a deck we played in the Brew Trials. So if you're not familiar with my new series called the Brew Trials, I'll go ahead and link down episode 3 in the description. This is the deck we played in episode 3 of the Brew Trials. And the Brew Trials is basically a video series where I try to brew around a card or two, make a deck out of it, and play it in Modern. And we take it through 3 matches of single queue competitive lobby games. And I set up a rule, and my rule was that if the deck wins all 3 matches, then we have to play the deck through a friendly league. Now, I did say that I can make updates since then to make sure that the deck is actually competitive enough for even the friendly leagues. But essentially, what we're trying to do here is to keep on developing this idea and see if the 3-0 was a fluke or if there's something to it here, if there's something we can work on to make it actually a decent deck. Now, for those of you that didn't watch episode 3 of the Brew Trials, we played a deck called Mardu God-Pharaoh's Gift, which was all about this card called Refurbish over here, which return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So for 4 mana, you get to reanimate an artifact from your graveyard. And essentially, you wanted to reanimate an artifact that was obviously had a pretty higher mana cost than, than just 4, right? Or else you wouldn't really be getting that much value, or else you might as well just hard cast the artifact. So we tried to use a card called God-Pharaoh's Gift, which said that at the beginning of each combat, it's an artifact for 7 mana, and at the beginning of each combat, you get to make a token copy of one of the creatures in your graveyard, and it has haste. But however, the catch was that it's a 4/4, so you obviously wanted some solid ETB abilities to make the card reasonable. Now, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that a God-Pharaoh's Gift build needed, a larger density of creatures. So instead of focusing on the God-Pharaoh's Gift, I thought maybe we'll just focus more on the artifact reanimation side of the deck. And so we have 10 artifacts that we want to reanimate here. All of them cost 5 or more, ranging between cost of 5 mana and 8 mana. All of them in Mardu colors, so we can hard cast them if we ever need to at any point in the game. So the key artifact in the deck is going to be Combustible Gearhulk. Combustible Gearhulk fuels your graveyard even more, as well as is a win condition by dealing your opponent damage, or your opponent can choose to, let you draw 3 cards, and that's also fine for a 4 mana 6/6 draw 3. I think that's also pretty fine for a fair deck like ours. So this is the key card you're probably going to want to reanimate, as it's just the most value. But then you have cards like Noxious Gearhulk, which just destroys a creature. Sometimes you just need a quick, easy destroy target creature button, and that's what Noxious Gearhulk does. You have Cataclysmic Gearhulk, which is kind of like a board sweeper against most decks. If it's a creature-based deck, they'll really only be able to keep 1 creature around, and that's as long as Cataclysmic Gearhulk is able to do that, then it's done its job, right? And then, of course, 2 other artifacts in the deck here that are actually just powerful enough, which is going to be Wormcoil Engine. It's a 6 mana 6/6 with Death Touch Lifelink. This is going to be really hard for fair decks to beat without like a Path to Exile effect. And when it dies, you get to create even more worms and stuff like that, which then you can, again, get back with Refurbish. And then Platinum Empyrean, just sometimes your opponent is playing a very linear game plan, and they can't beat a card that says it's an 8/8 and your life total can't change. So that's what's great about Platinum Empyrean. It's also an 8/8, so it's a pretty fast clock. So if you're able to get this thing out on turn 4, you'll be able to start beating down pretty quickly. Now, this is, of course, the major engine of the deck. It's Refurbish plus these artifacts. But I also thought that because we're a graveyard-based deck, there's also a good idea for just playing a fair mid-range game. And that's what we had with our original The Brew Trials list in the Mardu God-Pharaoh's Gift. But, we can still stick to it with this mid-range plan in case that we have to hard cast things instead of refurbish them, or if our opponent plays Graveyard Hate. We'd like to have, a fair game plan going on here. So 23 lands plus 4 Faithless Looting means that we have a pretty good chance of making it to our 4th land drop. We have also 2 Tormenting Voice to bin Lingering Souls, to bin our artifacts, which we can then reanimate. We can also bin Unburial Rites, which is again another way to rebuy these artifacts from your graveyard. And so all this while we could pitch the cards we don't want and draw into cards we do want. That's the idea of cards like Faithless Looting and Tormenting Voice. Now, in the previous build, you saw that we had a Cathartic Reunion in there. I didn't like Cathartic Reunion mostly because it was a horrible top deck and it plays really poorly into counter magic. So if your opponent counters the Cathartic Reunion, you basically just discarded 2 cards, or discarded 3 cards for 2 mana, and your opponent's way up on cards. So Tormenting Voice is kind of less all in. You just discard 1 card and you draw 2 cards. It's also better as a top deck. That means you don't need to have too many cards in hand to make it work, right? Because if you top deck this on an empty hand, all you need is to draw 1 more card, and now you can, draw 2 cards. Whereas with Cathartic Reunion, you need to wait till you have 2 other cards in your hand before you can cast it, and that's just kind of holds you back. We're not a deck like Dredge where drawing 3 cards is just insane. We kind of just need to put some things into our graveyards and then draw a couple cards. We don't need to go all in on the discard 2, draw 3 plan. Then for Lightning Bolt, again, because we're a pretty fair deck, we want to have some interaction on the ground, and Lightning Bolt just wins games on its own, especially when you pair it with Combustible Gearhulk. You pitch a couple expensive cards, and then you bolt your opponent down. Also, you have the Lingering Souls plan, so the Lingering Souls beatdown plan, and then clean up with Lightning Bolt. You also have 4 Collective Brutality in the deck. Now this card really brings the whole deck together because it's a 2 mana discard outlet that is also interaction, and I think that's really important for the deck. You can either use a Duress effect to clear the way for your 3 and 4 drops. You can destroy a creature, or give it -2/-2. You can have your opponent lose 2 life and you gain 2 life, which is great against aggressive decks or burn, or even when you're on the beatdown plan with Lingering Souls and Lightning Bolts and your creatures. So we have all these ways to interact with our opponent in fair ways, but versatile ways. So Lightning Bolt can hit a Planeswalker, can hit a creature, can hit your opponent's life total. Collective Brutality can, duress your opponent, kill a creature, gain you 2 life. Lingering Souls is a value pitch off of your, Faithless Lootings, your Tormenting Voices, your Liliana of the Veils. And same off of Nahiri as well. And 2 things I didn't cover here is Nahiri and Liliana the Veil. Liliana the Veil, again, it's a discard outlet. Sometimes we just want to get these big expensive artifacts into our graveyard to set up for turn 4 refurbish. Liliana the Veil does that, and it's not necessarily a symmetrical effect, right? Because we want these things in our graveyard, and then our opponent is still discarding a card. You can also Liliana the Veil to target opponent, target player sacrifices a creature. It's a versatile card, and you can always keep ticking up to ultimate, just a win condition in and of itself. Nahiri the Harbinger is actually my favorite inclusion of the deck. I loved it as a one-of in the original Mardu God-Pharaoh's gift, and now in this straight-up refurbished Gearhulk build, I really like it because it, ticks up in 2 turns. You can fetch up any one of these creatures. Ideally, this Combustible Gearhulk because you want an ETB effect. But you can easily get, Wormcoil Engine or anything like that if you need 6 life. But the point is, it's just a great, fantastic card with its ultimate. And what I really like is that obviously it's a discard outlet as well as drawing you towards your enablers like Refurbish and Unburial Rites. And it's also, its -2 is super relevant because Rest in Peace is one of the cards that really gets us. And so, same for Relic of Progenitus. You can set up points where you can actually -2 on Relic of Progenitus as well. But the point is, Nahiri is able to cleanly answer a Rest in Peace and a Relic of Progenitus in order for us to continue executing our game plan. So just having a main deck answer to this Graveyard Hate. Not that you'll see Rest in Peace main deck, but it's just nice to know that Nahiri is just this extra insurance alongside these 2 Wear and Tears that are also in the sideboard to be able to beat cards like Rest in Peace. Okay, so I think I covered the main deck there for us. Again, this is the new and improved Mardu Gearhulks build based off of the Brew Trials Episode 3 with Mardu God-Pharaoh's Gift. Again, I didn't feel like the God-Pharaoh's Gift added much to the deck. And, there were points where I got the God-Pharaoh's Gift out, but I had no creatures in the graveyard, and so it really wasn't that exciting. So, I think sticking to the Artifact Reanimation plan is a little better. Sticking to artifacts that are all hard-castable in our deck also seems to be a better plan, and this is what we're going to go for here. So, we got a solid, decent curve. We got a couple 1-drops, got a couple 2-drops, couple 3-drops, couple 4-drops, and then, our big top end here that we want to reanimate. Let's go ahead and talk about the sideboard. Again, 2 wear and tear here. It's a great versatile card to beat, enchantments like Rest in Peace. It's able to beat cards like Ironworks, Karat Clan Ironworks, Cranial Platings, anything out of an artifact-based deck, you're going to want wear and tear. It's able to kill hollow ones. And also destroy enchantments. So again, we mentioned Rest in Peace, but there could be other enchantments that you run into, maybe like, I don't know, Ghostly Prison, or Oblivion Ring, or Detention Sphere, or Search for Azcanta. There's going to be all these different things in Modern, and it's nice to have answers to it. 2 Cabal, because Storm is probably going to be a pretty poor matchup for us. Having some way to clean it up seems to be pretty good for us, It's in Mardu colors, and I really enjoy Cabal. It's also great against Burn, and sometimes different aggressive decks depending on their configuration. 2 Anger the Gods, because it's a great cleanup card against, Hardened Scales Affinity. It's okay against humans in certain cases. It's great against Bridgevine. So I really like Anger the Gods in a deck like this because it curves nicely also into Refurbish. You have 2 Alpine Moon to beat against Tron, Valakut. Sometimes you can bring it in against blue decks. I'm not quite convinced that I'm going to be at that point where I want to name like Azcanta the Sunken Ruin or even Celestial Colonnade, but it is a potential inclusion if we have enough things to cut. 4 Leyline of the Void, because graveyard-based decks are really annoying, and you want to have it be a one-sided effect because we use our own graveyard, so you can't play cards like Relic of Progenitus. There is a reasonable argument for Surgical plus Nile Spellbomb, but I've always been a fan of just the straight-up Leyline from turn 0 and just kind of take over the game in terms of against a graveyard deck. You have 1 Liliana the Last Hope because she's a great mid-range planeswalker. In grindy games, you can even rebuy, your big 5-6 mana, artifacts. And then 2 Thoughtseize because some extra discard effects are probably going to come a long way, or go a long way in the control and combo matchups, and even Tron. So just disrupting a little bit can help us a lot, just to buy enough time to actually execute our own game plan. Whew, okay, so I think I covered a lot of things there, but that's going to be the deck. Mardu Gearhulks, again, based off of the Brew Trials. So we said that if any deck got a 3-0 in the Brew Trials, we'll run it through a friendly league and try to keep developing it. And so that's what we're going to do today, which also means that I have Sultai Delirium to also run through a friendly league with some updates. But, that's the goal here. If any deck gets 3-0 in the Brew Trials, it's on the list for a friendly league, and that's what we're doing here today. So, hope you enjoy the upcoming set of 5 matches in this Modern friendly league. I do have some good things coming up this week as well. We have a Grixis Delver and a red-black Pack-Rat Moon deck that I'm excited to play. So, if you're interested in the following videos that will be on my channel later this week, keep in contact with the YouTube channel and check your notifications. Those will hopefully be up in the next couple days. So stick around for the first match coming up in just a second. I'll see you guys soon. Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the first match here in this friendly league with Mardu Gearhulks. Well, this hand, if it had 1 more land, I might consider keeping it, but unfortunately, this doesn't look very good. We got a lot of top-heavy stuff. We've got a discard outlet here, but it really depends on us drawing our second land. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan. Here we got a Faithless Looting, as well as Refurbish and a Gearhulk. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this and hope to hit some lands off of this Faithless Looting. We even got some interaction here as well. Flooded Strand. Wonder what my opponent is playing here. Island. Either Vial. Could be Spirits. Spirits is a pretty good deck these days. Let's go ahead and Faithless Looting right away. I wonder... kind of want to hold on to the Lingering Souls because it could be useful to actually hardcast in this matchup to buy ourselves some time. Especially if we don't hit our 4th land. Like ever. Alright, we're going to go and bin some artifacts. Our opponent's going to take a quick pause here and be like, what in the world are we doing? And if I was my opponent, I would take a pretty similar pause. Usually when your opponent leads a Blackleaf Cliffs Faithless Looting, you're probably on Mardu, right? But I mean, technically we are Mardu, but we're not Mardu Pyromancer. We're not the common, not the common deck that you find playing these cards. All right, let's see if our. All right, so it looks like this is probably Blue-White Spirits. Thalia. That's annoying, but at least we drew a land. Land is perfect. Definitely don't want to get caught by a. Ooh, but they could still Mausoleum Wander, so I think on their upkeep, I'm actually going to do this. I'm gonna let the Aether Vial tick up. So this is the point where I want to do this. To play around Mausoleum Wander, because they could flash in this Mausoleum Wander and then counter our Lightning Bolt. Alright, yeah, exactly. So that's exactly the way we wanted to play that. So that feels good. But this Mausoleum Wander counters our Refurbish, so hopefully we can trade this Lingering Souls for the Mausoleum Wander or something like that. Opponent curving out here is, well, there's a land, so kind of happy to see that. Now we'll see if my opponent wants to bite here. If they have a Lord effect, they probably don't. This Mausoleum Wanderer could be really useful for them, but they don't necessarily know that. So the idea is they take the bait. Alright, that's pretty good. They don't flash into 2-drop, also pretty good for us. But they probably take it up to 3 here. And yeah, now the question is, do we want to get caught by a Spell Queller? I think we could just as easily flashback Faithless Looting here, because we're really riding on Refurbish working out for us. So, alright, probably been a Looting and a Mountain. Next turn we can go for the Refurbish if they want to keep holding up, you know, Alright, so maybe we should have just, if this is a Geist, then we're, alright, Drogskull Captain, not as scary. Well, you know, I'm saying that, but at the same time, like, we don't really have anything that can interact with this right now. So, things aren't looking great for us, now that I think about it. Alright, they don't flash in a Lord here. Bloodstained Mire. So how useful is Refurbish here? Our opponent could play a creature which has 2 power, like a Spell Queller. Pump it up to 3, that would be 8. And then any other spirit is just lethal, so maybe just flashing back Faithless Looting and flashing back Lingering Souls is the correct play here. Because we need like a Platinum Empyrean in our graveyard for this Refurbish to really work. Tormenting Voice. Not quite. And if this gets caught by a Spell Queller, we're pretty dead. Yeah. Alright, there's the Spell Queller. So that's 8. If our opponent just has 1 more spirit to flash in here, or even a Lord effect, we're dead. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so they had double Spell Queller. They had a lot of good things going on there. So fair play by my opponent. This is Blue-White Spirits. It's a deck. It's a deck we're going to have to try to be able to beat in some world here. So Liliana the Last Hope also seems okay. Wear Tear to beat Aether Vial and Rest in Peace is reasonable as well. So let's consider that. Wormcoil Engine is good, but kind of awkward because they're probably still going to play Path to Exile, seeing the cards that we pitched. So I'm going to go ahead and cut one of them. Probably want to cut one Tormenting Voice. It's also a card that you don't really want to get caught by Spell Queller. These 3 drops are probably okay. Unburial Rites could be a little too slow in this matchup, although the fact that it's 5 mana means it doesn't get caught by Spell Queller, which is kind of nice. Definitely want this Liliana in here as well. Probably just like want 1 Wear and Tear. 2 is probably a little excessive considering they could just as easily have us start without Aether Vial or Rest in Peace and still beat us. So let's go ahead and probably run something like this. We still need 2 more cuts here though. Again, I think Platinum Empyrean is pretty important, but they also have... I mean, they also have cards like Worship, so Wear Tear could be good against Worship as well. Maybe cut 1 Platinum Empyrean. We're going to go more for the mid-range plan here. Cut in Unburial Rites. Again, it doesn't get hit by Spell Queller, but it is maybe a little slow. Especially if you don't ooh, that's an Alpine. That's not what I meant to side in. I meant to side in that Wear Tear. Let's cut the other Tormenting Voice, and just don't think this is a matchup we necessarily have enough time to just loot through. No discard outlets, but we got a Bolt and we have a couple Lilies. So I think I'll go ahead and keep. Probably get a... I could get a Sacred Foundry, but I could also get a Blood Crypt. Alright, that's a Vial. I think I'm just going to get a Sacred Foundry. Any other fetch plus our Blackleaf Cliffs gets us our second black source. Cool. Alright, so now we have a Planeswalker lined up, which is really nice. As well as a Lightning Bolt set up here to ping down, hopefully like a Thalia or something. And they don't have the Mausoleum Wander. Alright. So far, this is okay. Let's get a Blood Crypt. Another Refurbish. Not ideal. So I think I just want to play Liliana here and tick up. I actually think I'm going to discard one of these Refurbish. It's just like too slow. I may end up hard casting a Lingering Souls here, so let's see if my opponent has a 1-drop to bring in here. Alright, no 1-drop. And no 2-drop, so their hand is probably pretty heavy on 3s. Still nothing, alright. Let's tick it up. Again, Refurbish, just pretty slow right now. Let's go ahead and cast Lingering Souls here. Oh, maybe I should have waited. Now they can also have a Selfless Spirit that they can flash in here, or a Rattle Chains, but I think that was fine. I should have waited before to use my Lily until after I cast Lingering Souls. Therefore, I could just tick down on the Spell Queller. But we're also just ticking up Liliana of the Veil here, and she's going to get the ultimate eventually. The thing is, though, our opponent with Aether Vial plus 3 lands, we can't really make that many splits that are particularly... Oh, interesting. I mean, I'll try to make my opponent or sacrifice. They could flash in something here, though. Alright, they just sacrifice. And I kind of want to play my Lily. That way, if there's a Spell Queller, I'd rather not suicide my... Okay. They could flash something in here, so yeah, I'm just gonna hold everything back. Let's see if they flash in a 3-drop. They do. It could be another Kira. Our Drogskall Captain. That one's a pretty good one. Especially if they can pair it with a double Drogskall Captain or a Phantasmal Image. But we can always Liliana... Ooh, that's pretty good against Liliana Downtick. They can animate Mutavault. Alright, Thalia. Thalia's not great against Liliana of the Veil. Let's see if my opponent wants to attack here. It'll kind of let us know what if my opponent has a Lord. And to me, I'm just going to take the safe block here. I could double block. I think it's a little greedy. Just, my opponent could be next leveling me, but again, there's just no reason to get blown out. Yeah, so they have double Drogskall Captain. That's pretty good. Ooh, okay. So I think we start here. Uptick there. Uptick, I discard my Combustible Gearhulk. Yeah, our opponent thought we were down ticking. We are not. Yep, and now our opponent's going to have to make a decision. Are we going to draw 3 or are they going to take some damage here? We've been 3 lands. Oh my god, why? why do bad things happen to good people? Alright, well, I guess that's a magic play. But at least we have this 6/6 that gets to start attacking in here. Now we hope our opponent just draws a land or 2. Don't draw Supreme Phantom, please. Don't draw Supreme Phantom, please. Just don't draw Lord. They could have like a Selfless Spirit here or something. What would they want to main phase play for 2 mana? Like a Rest in Peace? Oh god, Phantasmal Image. Sure. Yeah, well. That's a pretty good draw. So I guess they both come at Lily here. Yeah. And now they're even out of Anger the Gods range. It's kind of rough. Woo, Wear Tear. Not great. So I think our first step is going to try to apply pressure here. We're going to have to try to race this somehow. And we probably want to destroy this right now. I mean, yeah, our opponent, maybe the turn where we went for Refurbish, we could have just down-ticked Lily. That probably would have been safer. But again, they could have just animated Mutavault instead, which is why I didn't really like that line. Oh boy, yeah. So the fact that we hit 3 lands here means racing is going to be really rough. But I mean, it's nice that we didn't draw 3 lands, but it would have been nice if 3 lands weren't on top of our deck. I wonder if they just attack with everything here. If they attack with everything, do we have a live draw in our deck at this point? This is 4, 8, 12, 17 exactly. So let's just go ahead and chump here. Take 12. Collective Brutality. Could chump, go to 7. Not quite. We have to hold everything back here. Or else we die. If we attack with Spirit, yeah, we're still dead. So Not really sure what we're drawing towards here. We don't really have many outs, but I guess technically we're not dead, so... Right, if we attack for 6, they go to 5, then they attack us for lethal, so... Oh, wow. Alright, they just... I even forgot they had a draw step. Yep. That's the game there. Blue-White Spirits, pretty good deck, as you see here. So, this brew that we came up here doesn't quite compete with a tier 1 deck in the format, right? So I don't know if Blue-White Spirits is tier 1 in the sense of meta percentage, but it's definitely tier 1 in terms of like power level, right? It's a deck that has won an SCG Open. I don't know if it's top 8 at a Grand Prix yet, but it's definitely put up some solid results. So we couldn't quite, compete with this deck. But we'll hopefully try to swing things around for the second match here. So stay tuned for that, and see you guys soon. Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second match here with Mardu Gearhulks. We have 3 lands, we have a refurbish, we have a discard outlet, we have a bolt for interaction. I think it's a keep. The hand definitely needs a couple things to make it work. Our opponent mulliganing down to 4, obviously a good sign for us, but if any deck can lose against them, yeah. See, that's the thing. It's always like Tron. Tron is always the deck that gets you on a multi-4. See, how do they scry? Ooh, it's blue Tron. Okay, maybe we have a chance here. Maybe we have a chance. I think if there's any deck that we might be able to beat, it's blue Tron. Alright, there's another land. Happy to see that. Let's just go ahead and hardcast Lingering Souls. Don't really have anything better to do right now. Alright, resolved. Hopefully my opponent doesn't just have turn 4 natural Tron. Alright, looks like they just have nothing, potentially. So I think here I'll just go ahead and attack. And now I like going for Tormenting Voice over Nahiri, because then I can always flash back Lingering Souls if this gets countered, and this still gets my Gearhulk into the graveyard for refurbish. Okay, didn't hit another 5th land. I do want to keep hitting land drops. I think we can get a Godless Shrine here. And flashback Lingering Souls. See if our opponent wants to counter this one. Remand. Remand is that's a really good counter for this Lingering Souls. Wow, they just hit Tron. Well, all right, Chromatic Star. You're not doing much with it. Green. Could this be green blue Tron? Okay, looks like this is green blue Tron. I don't think that's a variant I'm familiar with. Alright, them finding another chromatic sphere is pretty good for us. Them not playing it, though, it's kind of telling, right? That they're probably holding something. So now they have 5 mana available here. Ooh, Brutality. Do I want to go for the Brutality right now? I kind of do. I want to make sure the coast is clear. Can discard another Gearhulk. See if my opponent has like another remand for us here. Repeal my spirit. Okay. Maybe I should have attacked first. Okay, Sylvan Scrying, Oblivion Stone. So they don't have a lot of stuff going on here, but neither do we. So we could play Nahiri and force an Oblivion Stone pop, but we could also just refurbish back Gearhulk and do the same. So that Oblivion Stone resolves. See, they're going to play their Expedition map, I imagine. Yep. Do they want to crack it right now? Probably don't have to. Right, so they have still 1 unknown in their hand. I'm going to fire off one bolt here. I don't know when's the next chance I'll be able to fire that off, so apparently very soon. Kind of want to refurbish, but let's go ahead and attack first. See if my opponent wants to blow up the board. So I think we did miss 1 point of damage here, but it's okay. Alright, serving up a Gearhulk. Oh, did they draw the counter? Come on. Fair enough. Alright, maybe that was a reason to go for Nahiri instead. I mean, my opponent's now empty-handed, so... Let's see, they probably get like a Sanctum of Ugin here, I have to imagine. Maybe like a Field of Ruin. An island, okay. Just an island. They play the island. Okay. That's not very good here. In fact, it would just kill my own spirit, I believe. Oh, no, it wouldn't. We could keep both. But maybe this... well... Let's just go for Nahiri. We'll attempt to loot here. My opponent wants to blow up... Oh, sure, in response. Yeah, that's fine. I think we say yes, bin that. Don't really want to play the land. We might want to just loot it away. Alright, another land drop for my opponent. Still, alright. So now I think I want to play the land and get back a Gearhulk again. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have another counter spell here. Alright, let's see if my opponent is dead. They're going to decide what they want to do. They're going to make us draw. Okay. Interesting choice. Can't say I agree with it, but it's an interesting choice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, Chromatic Star. That's just a redraw. Unless they needed green mana. It's possible that they needed green mana. So that could have been a good draw for them. Uh-oh. Alright, tapping blue. 6. Nezahal. What? Can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever going to cast a non-creature spell, draw a card, discard 3 cards, return it to your hand. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do this right now so that they don't draw a card when I cast a non-creature spell. Well, and Sylvan Scrying, sure. And there's their basic forest. Jeez, this is a brew off here. Let's go ahead and probably get another Blood Crypt here, I imagine. Or another red-black source. I guess that's our first Blood Crypt. Noxious Gearhulk. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a removal spell that's not actually a non-creature spell, and then we still get in for damage here. And they don't have cards to discard? Oh, baby. Alright, Mardu Gearhulks. Beats Tron somehow. Alright, green-blue Tron. Very interesting. Alright, Wear Tear seems fine. Alpine Moon seems great. Thoughtseize seems perfect. Kambal, maybe. We'll put Kambal in the maybes. This is definitely not a Platinum Empyrean matchup. And it's definitely not a Cataclysmic Gearhulk matchup. So I think the first things that come in are Thoughtseize and Alpine Moons. We can probably trim a Bolt. I like Collective Brutality against a deck with counter spells, and I like Planeswalkers against a more mid-rangey build. And Burial Rites is pretty good value, but we also trimmed a couple of our reanimation targets, so we probably don't want to have too many reanimation without much to do with it. Again, Tormenting Voice is a bit of a liability against counterspell decks, so I'm going to cut one for the second Wear Tear. Just have all the hate, but also be kind of this mid-range deck. And let's run it. I like the bolts because they're a good way to close out the game. Well, I'll keep that, I think. It's got 2 cards that don't do much, but I think I'll keep it. Got the Wear Tear here for, I don't know, like a turn 2 expedition map. Sweet. So let's just go ahead and do that. I guess I could have gotten a Sacred Foundry here. Make sure that I have white mana on turn 2 in case I need it. Alright, sweet. Hopefully we'll be able to counter this expedition, or destroy this expedition map here. They don't have like a Spell Pierce or something. Blow it up. See you later. Alright, that's another Tron land. And that's Tron. Oh boy. Ooh, wow. They saw this, but they still didn't. Alright, I'm not gonna. Oh boy. Well, I think I'm just gonna Liliana here. Start ticking up. Start working towards an ultimate to shred my opponent's hand. I think I probably want to discard a Wormcoil Engine here. It's possible that Faithless Looting in my hand lets me see more cards next turn. Even though Faithless Looting is the value pitch, as is Lingering Souls, I think it's okay to discard some of our 6-drops. Oh, they just had Tron. They just had natural Tron. They didn't care about Expedition Map. That's dumb. Alright, World Breaker. God dang it. Alright, well there goes our white source, but at least we can tick down on this World Breaker and not be too screwed. Alright, so probably want to lead off with Faithless Looting here. Ooh, Alpine Moon. That's a good pickup. That's a really good pickup. Wow. So I'll go ahead and sacrifice. And now I think I name Urza's Tower. Bam. Bada bing, bada boom. We're doing things. Now they have 4 mana, basically. Unfortunately, an Oblivion Stone could still get us here. They could like find a land, get an Oblivion play the land, play an Oblivion Stone, next turn blow up the Oblivion Stone. But at least we'll be able to kind of shred their hand a bit with Liliana at that point. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Repeal. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Excuse me, very interesting. This makes sense if they maybe have Oblivion Stone here, or a counterspell. Urza's Tower. Maybe they have like a Wormcoil Engine now. Why would this line make sense? Alright, this line to me is making less and less sense. Unless they're digging for Oblivion Stone right now. They have 5 mana, they can play a Thragtusk. Otherwise, we just replay Alpine Moon. They don't have blue mana to counter it. They found a Chromatic Star. They play Chromatic Star. I guess this means they have blue mana available. Alright, they don't have blue mana available. I guess they still have Oblivion Stone mana though, so that's the most that's the scariest card we could see right now. Expedition Map, that's not too scary. This is very not scary. Very not scary. Urza's Tower, sure. I guess technically it's a Rainbow Land. So now they have multiple Urza's Tower, so I'm just going to name like the power plant or something. So here, I think we just want to tick up, pitch Lingering Souls, because I want to hardcast this Nahiri next turn. Discarded a World Breaker. Sure. Play an Alpine Moon. Again, we're going to name the power plant Urza's Power Plant. Whoops. I'm going to flashback this Lingering Souls in the yard. Get a clock going. Play that tapped. Say go. My opponent could also be trying to make me overplay into an Oblivion Stone, but again, we know no cards in their hand, but there's only 2 left in there, so how good can they be? Oh, that's a good card to discard to Liliana, because we were going to discard anyways. They just discarded Nature's Claim. Is the last card in their hand just better than Nature's Claim? What is better than Nature's Claim? Like Karn? I guess they're only 1 mana off of Karn as well. Jeez. Alright. And even if it's a counter spell, like, I'm okay keeping Alpine Moon, but like trading a counter spell for Nahiri. Alright, it's just another Nature's Claim. Fair enough. Fair enough. Thankfully, they only have 1 green source, though, so they can't get back World Breaker right and then replay it. Then we can go ahead and still uptick with Lily. So, we got stuff going on for... Yeah, alright, opponent concedes. Definitely a wild game there against Tron. The green-blue Nezahal Tron. I mean, but hey, we won a match. And I think that's more than I expected out of this league. So we're 1-1 in this friendly league here with Mardu Gearhulks. Stay tuned for the 3rd match coming up in just a second. I'll see you guys soon. Alright folks, what's up? Welcome back to the 3rd match here with Mardu Gearhulks. This looks like a pretty solid hand. I'll go ahead and keep it. We got Brutality and Tormenting Voice with a value pitch and 3 lands. Uh-oh. Looks like this could be Spirits again. And I thought this was a friendly league. Alright. Platinum Empyrean, also kind of a good card to pitch here. Alright, Cavern of Souls. It could be Humans. Now that I think about it, yeah, alright, so this is Humans. I don't know what I'm happier seeing. Humans or Spirits. I think Spirits is slightly more disruptive, and we can maybe go toe-to-toe with Humans if we get a reanimation plan going. Platinum Empyrean, not the best in this matchup here because they have Reflector Mages, so definitely not the greatest, but it could be a nice insurance plan if we have a couple things to do. So now they have to choose between basically these 3 cards here. I wonder if they take the Brutality just because it, trades with the Kitesail Freebooter. Or trades with anything else that they play. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Alright, so next time we probably play Tormenting Voice, pitch one of these big boys. See if my opponent has a 1-drop as well. I mean, they could have a Noble Hierarch. I imagine if they had a Champion of the Parish, they would have wanted to play it before playing this Kitesail Freebooter. That's a card that we might reasonably hardcast this game, so I think we just want to pitch the Platinum Empyrean. Sweet. Ooh. Maybe a bit of missequencing for me. Maybe I was supposed to play the Plains out. Therefore, Blackleaf Cliffs lets us cast Lingering Souls. Now, not pitching Lingering Souls means that another Kitesail Freebooter could get us. But I think I'm okay with that because... Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Because it means that Phantasmal Image is not more pressure, and then we just end up casting this Cataclysmic Gearhulk eventually. Alright, nothing off 1 on the vial, so that's good. But this is where it gets scary. They go to 2 here and then 3 mana. So they can play a 3-drop and a 2-drop on turn 3, which is obviously pretty good. Let's see what's coming off here. This is a Thalia, maybe? Meddling Mage. Ah. Well, it looks like we weren't really going to get to cast Lingering Souls anyways. So I think a solid draw here would be like a Lightning Bolt of some sort. Alright, looks like we're going to get hit by a Mantis Rider, get hit for 4. So we go to 15. Yeah, those Lingering Souls would have been nice. But definitely wouldn't mind like a... Well, speaking of... I think here I'm going to bolt here and then get back my Brutality, cast it with 2 modes, pitch the Lingering Souls, buffer my life total a bit, then we could flashback Lingering Souls next turn to block this Mantis Rider. Now hopefully my opponent doesn't have like a couple Phantasmal images here, because that would be pretty strong against... along with a Mantis Rider. Alright, Horizon Canopy. Hopefully we see them start with cracking that. That would be, I think, ideal for us. Nice. So they kept their Vial on 2, which means they probably definitely have a 2-drop. It would also make sense that they have a 2-drop because they cracked Horizon Canopy first. So they wouldn't want to, cut off any of their options for the turn if, by cracking that Horizon Canopy. What you got for me, buddy? Maybe they have like a Champion of the Parish plus a 2-drop. Another Meddling Mage would be kind of annoying, but not too much we can do about that. We did draw the perfect last turn, so refurbish. Okay, yeah. I guess I might as well. I mean, it could easily get hit by a Reflector Mage, but I think that's a risk I'm willing to take here. We got a pretty good curve out this game here. I'm genuinely surprised. They could also Phantasmal Image my Platinum Empyrean. Alright, looks like it's just a Thalia's Lieutenant here. Although, it just isn't really good way to put that, because they could easily just... Right, they could smack us for 4 here. They could play Reflector Mage, smack us for 6. We have to shock if we want to play. Yeah, they always have the Reflector Mage. That's just the #1 rule. So maybe the better play was to just play Lingering Souls and fetch, not shock. That way we don't kind of hurt ourselves. The fact that we drew this basic plains instead of a different white source. Oh geez. Another Mantis Rider? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. So we got totally punished for making the play that we did. We're going to get hit for 10 here. We could play Cataclysmic Gearhulk, but then we're dead. So, yeah, maybe I wasn't supposed to go for this. Maybe I was supposed to go for Lingering Souls into Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Gives us another turn. Maybe I was also just supposed to Lightning Bolt the Mantis Rider, as that gets in for the most damage, really. And we never even ended up casting that Lingering Souls. I don't know. I think I probably could have played that game better, but it is what it is. Probably want to cut one of these Platinum Empyreans. Some more 3-drop interaction seems fine. And the thing is, like, Platinum Empyrean, it's just not going to do it against Reflector Mage. And then this gets taxed by Thalia pretty hard. So we still have 8 artifacts to rebuy. With a solid mid-range plan going on here. Let's go ahead and hit submit here. Got 8 pieces of removal, 10 if you count Anger of the Gods, and then 13 if you count our Planeswalkers. This is the kind of hand that I'm gonna mulligan that hand. Oh my god, just worse. Gosh, I should have just kept that one lander with Faithless Looting, but alright, well. Looting. I guess I'm just gonna bottom that. This is a matchup where I think I definitely want to fetch and not take any damage. Champion of the Parish. We could bolt it right now, but we could put ourselves in a situation where Anger of the Gods is pretty good if my opponent doesn't have like a Kitetail freebooter. So if they go like Meddling Mage, name Lightning Bolt, we can untap, go Anger of the Gods. If they Kitetail freebooter me here, then I can bolt the Kitetail freebooter. Ooh, if they go for the Noble Hierarch, I think that is best case scenario for me. Yes. That means I also get to save this bolt for like a Mantis Rider later. I think I'll take the hit for 3 here. And the Vial. Alright. Vial was really good there, I think. It's going to help them still have kind of card velocity by the time they have to rebuild. So, just going to fire off this Anger of the Gods while I can. Maybe I can slam Nahiri next turn and get something going that way. Alright. Looks like my opponent maybe has a Champion of the Parish here into a 2-drop. Alright, Thalia's Lieutenant. I think I'm just going to have to bolt this on my main phase. Another Nahiri. Yeah. As mana inefficient as this is, I think playing Nahiri is just not the way we want to play this. Of course, now we don't have an answer to Mantis Rider anymore, but next turn we can play Nahiri downtick on Thalia's Lieutenant, and hopefully try to stem the bleeding moving forward. Alright, double Nahiri is nice here. Means that even if they take one of them, it's just not going to be enough. But they could easily have like a Phantasmal Image here as well. They could have just another Kitetail freebooter. That's why like holding on to Anger of the Gods doesn't work in a matchup like this, because they can just Meddling Mage or Kitetail freebooter it down the road. Ah, no, come on. Okay, alright, that's a little better. Not great, but it's a little better. We'll get hit for 4 here. We'll go Nahiri downtick. They'll clear Nahiri though. Yeah, that other Thalia's Lieutenant was pretty good, but I think here again, just want to try to survive. If we draw like a Lightning Bolt, we might be in a reasonable spot. Alright, they're going to crack their Horizon Canopy before they choose whether or not to tick up this Vial. Makes sense. That way they can decide whether they want to send it up based on the card they draw. So I imagine Kitetail is going to be hitting Nahiri. Thalia is going to be coming at me. They could potentially have another 3-drop to play here. Yeah. Just maybe like a... Ooh, is it Staticaster? I guess that's pretty good against Lingering Souls. Yeah, I think I'll just hold on to this Tormenting Voice for next turn. The fact that I have removal here, so I'm not going to dig for other removal. Interesting that they, oh, I guess they didn't have mana for Horizon Canopy that turn. Yeah, because the Ancient Ziggurat was the land. Right, they can't crack Horizon Canopy using Ancient Ziggurat. It adds mana only for creatures. For multicolored creatures or just any creature? Yeah, only creature cells. Wow. Okay. Just attack with his Staticaster. Well. Jeez. Alright, well, not looking great for us here. Another Anger of the Gods would have been nice, I guess. But we kind of want Anger of the Gods to be on top of our deck, not something we just draw naturally. Maybe we just need more sweepers in this deck. If we do want to commit to the mid-range plan, then having ways to beat these like creature-heavy matchups might be pretty important. Alright, they're going to freeboot me. Yep. They'll take Lingering Souls, which is not even good. So a nice draw here would be well, I guess we were out of Nahiris, right? A reasonable draw here would also be Liliana the Last Hope. We could tick up on this freebooter or tick up on this freebooter to stem some bleeding. Collective Brutality, yeah, I mean... And the reason I'm going to pitch this is because we could draw Refurbish, and that has at least one artifact in our graveyard for that to work. So Kitesail Freebooter is gonna get it. We're gonna go back up to 7. Now this Lingering Souls is not great in our hand. I mean, is not great in play. So we're definitely gonna keep it in hand as like discard fodder. The fact that my opponent hasn't played anything relevant for quite a while is very, very confusing. I'm just not sure what that means for us. Could they really have just 4 lands in hand? They would probably play at least one of them out if they had 4 lands. Alright, that's a Refurbish. They could have just a Reflector Mage as well. Alright. What do you got for me, buddy? Come on, come on. Let's hit a bunch of 6-drops here. You know, I'm thinking that maybe Gearhulk, while it's a great card, maybe it's better in like a Through the Breach build with yeah, they just let us pitch Through the Breach with like Emrakul as well. That would be an interesting like Brew Trials, like Through the Breach, Gearhulk, Emrakul. Yeah, here comes the Reflector Mage. Rex Sage. Yeah, that does it too. We'll go down to 1. If my opponent just even has a single Mantis Rider or Lord effect here, like Thalia's Lieutenant, we are definitely dead. Aw, come on, we're not dead yet. Put us out of our misery, opponent. And probably out of your misery too. We got a 1. I guess Anger of the Gods is still a live draw. That's not gonna do it. I guess we'll flash back Faithful Suiting. I don't know what we could draw, but I guess we'll flash it back. We could draw like Untapped Land. Nah, but we don't have. There's the Anger of the Gods, but let's go ahead and scoop it up there. We beat Tron somehow, and we've lost to Spirits and Humans. So. Not to say the strategy is bad, but the fact that we get taxed by Thalia and Kitesail Freebooter and Mausoleum Wanderer with a Refurbish is definitely a reason to be against this deck in a metagame like this. So we'll go ahead and consider all these results as we go to our closing comments. But that was the third match here. We still got 2 more left to go. We're 1-2. Let's see if we can pull out with a 3-2 here. We'll try to work pretty hard to do that. So stay tuned for the 4th match coming up in just a second. I'll see you guys soon. Alright, hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the 4th match here with Mardu Gearhulks in this friendly league. We have won the die roll. Let's go ahead and play first. Yeah, this is a hand. Faithless Looting, Double Pitch, Lingering Souls, keep. So this is the kind of Mardu hand that I like to see. Got a Bolt for interaction. Just lead off on Faithless on Basic Mountain. No need to take any damage more than we need to. Probably want to pitch one of each here, I think. That way we have something to refurbish back. In case we draw refurbish. And we're quite off from 6 mana, so again, don't mind that as well. Breeding Pool, Shock, Birds of Paradise. That's getting bolted. Here, let's just go ahead and get a Godless Shrine tapped. Bolt the bird. Say go. Next turn we can either hardcast Lingering Souls or flashback Faithless Looting, depending on what my opponent has got going on. Let's see, they did mulligan, but they scryed to the top, so... Ooh, it could be like 4-color Saheeli. That'd be an interesting matchup. Interesting matchup, you know, and die on turn 3, so... On turn 4, excuse me. Whoops, no. I think I'd rather just Faithless Looting here. Our hand is pretty bad. Alright, I guess. So we can like hardcast this cat. I guess maybe I should have played Lingering Souls to pressure a Saheeli here, but if my opponent's got the Saheeli, they got the Saheeli. I can't, again, pressuring Saheeli is not very relevant if our opponent also follows up with Felidar Guardian. Uh-oh. Yep. Let's see if we can draw another Lightning Bolt. Or are we dead? Tormenting Voice. I think I want to discard this Blood Crypt. Well, I'm not going to pretend like I have something that I don't. And I think we fall too far behind if our opponent does anything other than not play Felidar Guardian, so... Or anything other than Felidar Guardian, so... Alright, well, it looks like they might just have the turn 4 combo sleeved up here. Threw a mulligan, threw a bolt on the bird. That's fine, I guess. Guess we've... Oh! Come into play tapped. Alright! Looks like things are looking up for us here. Let's attack everything at Saheeli. See if our opponent has like a Spell Queller or something. No Spell Queller. Alright, now we Nahiri. Now we get Spell Quellered, maybe? How did my opponent scry, by the way? Scry to the bottom, I believe. I think I'll discard this Cataclysmic Gearhulk, play a land, say go. And now we hope to not get hit by Bolt, get hit by the Gearhulk. Excuse me, get hit by the Felidar Guardian. It's another G word. Guardian. Alright, looks like they could have it now, though. Maybe they play, like, Dispel in their deck. But now they do have to respect the Bolt, maybe. They don't have to do anything. I mean, we didn't have the Bolt last turn. So they're basically saying, well, I don't think you drew it this turn. They could also like be playing like Voice of Resurgences and Kitchen Finks and all this other stuff. We could also refurbish back a Noxious Gearhulk next turn. Alright. Tick up. This is a free scry even if they have the combo. Alright. It could be a Thrag. Yeah, Thrag. That's also not a bad card. Here, let's just... I think I pitched both of my Blood Crypts, actually. That's kind of awkward. So, Sacred Foundry it is. Interesting. I think I will start with... Pitch Collective Brutality, draw Collective Brutality. Okay. Get back Noxious Gearhulk. Blow up Thragtusk. That means if they have like Eldritch Evolution, they can't get... Also gain some life there. That's not bad. I think we send everything. It's Saheeli. Just keep pressuring it. And I think we could even Collective Brutality here. Although I probably would have wanted to Collective Brutality before attacking. That way, if they do have some sort of removal spell, yeah, Eldritch Evolution. And they have their own Cataclysmic Gearhulk. That's kind of sweet. That is kind of sweet. I guess they could downtick. Ooh, Field of Ruin. Alright, good to know that they didn't draw. Interesting. Are they using it? Are they using Cataclysmic Gearhulk? I mean, I'll discard my spirits. They'll bin their beast. Then I'll fetch up a Combustible Gearhulk, I guess, and kill Saheeli. But at this point, a top deck Feldar Guardian also wins because they have Saheeli in hand. So we definitely need to find a Lightning Bolt at some point. I got this Nahiri on 8. Yeah. So this is what I thought they would do. They'll get Nahiri back down to 5. We'll block the real beast because this one dies at the end of the turn. They'll play Cataclysmic Gearhulk now. We'll sacrifice both of our spirits, which is unfortunate, but we still have, I think, Lingering Souls in the yard, maybe? Yeah, we still got 1 Lingering Souls in the yard. Oh, in fact, I can even keep one of these spirits. Isn't that nice? Because Noxious Gearhulk is an artifact. So I get to choose that, and I sacrifice the rest, right? Click done to sacrifice the rest. Believe that's as much as I can choose. Yeah, that wasn't bad. Not a bad exchange there. Tormenting Voice. Yeah, I think I'll use that. I don't think this Collective Brutality is going to do much in my hand now. So we've drawn all 4 Collective Brutalities. 1, 2, 3. That's all 4. Alrighty. I guess we flashback Lingering Souls. And swing for 6. We can chump the Gearhulk with the Spirit. I guess they can Saheeli downtick Oath of Nissa. All right, that's scary. It's scary because it helps them find Feldar Guardian, which would put us on a 1-turn clock essentially. So as long as they don't find the Guardian here, we're probably in okay shape. But if they do find the Guardian here, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. The thing about Oath of Nissa, the fact that I know their hand and I know what comes off of Oath of Nissa means that information is useful sometimes when you're playing around these types of decks, where if you know exactly what they have in hand, then it's pretty easy to play around things. But looks like it's just going to be a Lotus Cobra this turn, or maybe not. It could easily be Saheeli, but I think exposing Saheeli, which is one of their best win conditions right now, is probably a mistake. Alright, they're going to Field of Ruin me here. Oh, they are going for the Saheeli. Oh, I guess technically, yeah, the mana. Alright, they're gonna. Alright, so we can clear. So now this is great for us. This is perfect. We can kill Lotus Cobra so they can't block our menace creature, and then just clear Saheeli. And now we're not in danger of dying, just off the top. So that's kind of nice. They did scry to the top though, so that's also scary. But Platinum Empyrean, huh? I think we'll go ahead and start by pitching this land. Liliana's not bad at all. Target creature gets -2. Liliana. Down tick. Attack Saheeli, and then all these attack my opponent. And now they don't have a single draw that can just win them off the top. They do have 2 Saheelis in the yard, so technically a Sun Titan off the top is lethal. And I do imagine a deck with Eldritch Revolution probably is playing Sun Titan, but... Oh no. No, no, no! Oh my god! No! No. It's like... I think definitely killing Saheeli there is correct, but... Dear God... Oh my god, we just got cheesed. We just got completely cheesed. Just the one of scry to the top. Just casually. So they'll keep, sorry, I thought I conceded the game there. They're just gonna keep looping Sun Titans with haste for infinite because they have 2 Saheelis in the yard. Wow. Wow, just the one of kill. That's rough. That is rough. Okay. Anger, Thoughtseize, Liliana. Seems reasonable to me. Platinum Empyrean does not seem very exciting. Cataclysmic Gearhulk also doesn't seem very exciting. Burial Rites. I seem to be cutting these cards very often, which means they just might not be great in any matchup. I like Wormcoil Engine, kind of though. Having only, maybe Cataclysmic Gearhulk is reasonable. I don't know. Definitely want all my removal. Still can't believe we lost that game. I'm so salty right now. Maybe we can trim 1 brutality. No, it's removal. It just seems too important. Maybe cut 1 refurbish. Yeah, let's just trim a refurbish. We don't want to die on turn 4. We're going down to 7 artifacts instead of 10. So we don't want to flood on refurbishes and have nothing to get back from our graveyard. Alright, we got some bolts, we got some stuff. Opponent's going to mulligan down to 6 again. That's good. Here we're looking for some sort of planeswalker, some sort of threat. We could lead on Faithless Looting right now, but there's really nothing I want to discard out of my hand at the current time. So... I think I'm just going to fetch up a Sacred Foundry with this Marsh Flats at the end of my opponent's turn, and that's it. And then also hold up Bolt. But we could also just Collective Brutality of Birds. I'd rather Collective Brutality of Birds because instant speed interaction is going to be pretty nice against the combo, the Felidar Saheeli combo. Alright. So let's go ahead and get that Sacred Foundry. If my opponent doesn't... I guess my opponent didn't do anything. We're probably going to just Tormenting Voice and pitch the Faithless Looting, depending on what we draw. Noxious Gearhulk. Well, kind of want to pitch the Noxious Gearhulk now. Okay. Got some interaction here. So this is okay. This is A-okay. Let's see if they play like a Lotus Cobra here, maybe. We'll Brutality away a Lotus Cobra. I have to imagine they still are playing some number of Eldritch Evolution. Ooh. I'm actually going to Thoughtseize before I Faithless Looting, so I know what cards I'm going to want to keep in my hand and what I'm going to want to discard. Wow, Renegade Rallier, Feldar Guardian, Restoration Angel. Well, Renegade Rallier gets them a land. The other cards are kind of annoying too. So would I rather let them ramp or have a combo piece essentially? I think I'd probably take the Feldar Guardian here. Then I Faithless Looting. Ooh, Gearhulk. And then I just drew another thing, so. Kind of just want to bin both Brutalities at this point. Opponent's curious what we're doing here today. Just a brew for my YouTube channel. Aw, thanks. It's always nice to get that that positive feedback. My opponent likes my deck. Alright, so they played the Windswept Teeth. I'm gonna play the Renegade Rallier. Alright, so they have one unknown card in their hand. I'm willing to be okay with just a Renegade Rallier hanging out here. Let's go ahead and Faithless Looting. If we find a... not quite. I think we are gonna play towards just hard casting this Gearhulk. My opponent did show us Restoration Angel, but... Well, actually, and they showed us Eldritch Evolution, so now that I think about it, I think I definitely want to bolt right now. They have... Like the one greedy play that, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm playing around more things by bolting main phase, but maybe we can like get them if they go like Saheeli down tick. All right, they played their other Windswept Teeth, one unknown card in their hand. I guess we flash back the looting one more time. Oof. Ooh, what do I want to keep here? I kind of want to keep the bolt. How crazy is that? Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't have my auto yields on right now. Alright. They have Coco? Oh man, Coco would have been scary. Alright, Flooded Strand, another land. Let's see if they just drew the combo. It would be nice to have the bolt in the face of them going for the combo here. Sun Titan, no. Ah. Get back Renegade Rallier. Get back a land. Yeah. God, Sun Titan is just the absolute worst. Just the absolute worst card. Do they have a birds as well? They just... Oh, God. Gonna get smacked here. So post-combat I might have to... Or post-attack trigger, I might have to bolt the Renegade Rallier to preserve my life total. Oh God, did they draw the Saheeli as well? Saheeli's not lethal, thankfully. Oh gosh. Alright, opponent drew well. Opponent drew well. Alright, scry 1. Guess they played that island. They scry to the bottom. Always good to see. Oh no, did they just have the Guardian? Oh my god. Eldritch Evolution. Okay. I guess... Jeez. They just drew straight up gas every turn after we looked at their hand. It was like Sun Titan into Saheeli into Eldritch Evolution? I mean, god. Oh, they're targeting that? Now Sun Titan doesn't attack? Okay. So now we maybe have a little bit more time to find an answer to everything that's going on here. In fact, we could just bolt down Saheeli right now if we don't think we'll get an opportunity to cast this bolt. Put Saheeli down to 1. Just interesting that they didn't go for the combo here. And then we can play a Gearhulk next turn and hope that that's enough. Yeah, oops. Let's just bolt Saheeli now. Obviously, we're not going to have a getcha moment, but... Alright, well, we drew the land anyways, so... Classic. Alright, come on. Let's hit something good here. Nice thing is we can actually block the Sun Titan, so I guess that's a good thing. We've gone through a lot of our artifacts, and we even cut some from our deck. So we have 4 really good hits here. We could have like Refurbished plus Nahiri's also are pretty good hits. So our opponent's got a choice here. Aw, man. Come on, opponent. That's no fun. You're no fun. Alright. Next turn, we can refurbish back Gearhulk. Oath of Nissa? Oh boy. That's a good one. Look at the basically top 3 cards of your deck. Look for the next Felidar Guardian. Don't do me dirty like that, opponent. Don't do me dirty. After doing me dirty game 1, give me a chance here. Give me a chance to fight back. Another Saheeli, I think, is also lethal here. Yeah. Alright, Pian Kiranor. Now that one's not lethal. Okay. Tick up. Scry to the top. That is terrifying. They're going to play this Pian Kiranor. We can block, thankfully. They can also block, though, so... Don't know how thankful we should really be. That's not great here. Let's go ahead and... we could go for the Noxious Gearhulk and hit the Felidar Guardian. Interesting. That's also a line we could take. Kind of like that. Kind of like that, because it means we're not dead next turn. We're also gaining some life in the process. Let's see, we still have a Plains in the deck, so I kind of want to get that Plains out. And I think I'm going to hold back the Gearhulk in order to block the Sun Titan. Just make it really uncomfortable for my opponent to attack that way. But my opponent did scry to the top, so they could just Scry another Eldritch Evolution to the top, another Felidar to the top, and we're just dead. But we're giving ourselves the most opportunities here to be alive. Alright, Oath of Nissa. Yeah, I'd scryed that to the top if I was my opponent as well. And now, and there's the other Saheeli. I think that's lethal, right? They downtick on Sun Titan. Then play it again, downtick on Sun Titan. And we're dead. Well, let's see if my opponent sees it. Drop down to the 1 and 3 bracket here. That's never a good place to be. Yeah, so no matter which way we cut it, if we had killed the Sun Titan, we've been dead. I wonder if... Yeah. Let's give my opponent the old GG's here. They're going to do the infinite loop here again. Downtick on their Sun Titan, get back Saheeli, and I'm not going to... Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, no, they had the combo. They knew the kill. I'm not gonna you know, fight over a potential misclick here. But let's see if what happened if we would have Gearhulked last turn. We would have 1, 2, 3. That's 8 damage. Not quite enough. And also our opponent would probably have just let us draw 3 instead, and then we wouldn't have actually had interaction. So weren't in a really good place. I think my opponent cheesed us game 1 with that Sun Titan off the top, but such is life. Such is life. Anyways, that was the 4th match here with Mardu Gearhulks, dropping down to 1 and 3. Let's see if we can come back here with a 2 and 3. Let's just finish it off with a 2 and 3. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright guys, hope you've been having fun so far. We're here for the 5th and final match here in this friendly league with Mardu Gearhulks. We won the die roll. Let's go ahead and play first. Yeah, this hand seems fine. I say that hesitantly because no second black source, but we do have something we do want in the graveyard. So... But mulliganing down to 6, always a good sign for us. Always. I think I'm gonna actually shock in Sacred Foundry here because in case I draw like Lingering Souls plus Blackleaf Cliffs and I want to have my white source in play, so could be a Blood Moon deck. So let's go ahead and just pitch our basic mountain. Then we have Arid Mesa to fetch up a basic plains if we need to. That way we also have an answer in that form. Aether Vial off of Concealed Courtyard. Interesting. Okay, well, I think probably just want to discard this Arid Mesa. Ooh, this is what happens when you get greedy. You discard all your lands, and might not actually draw another one. Aether Vial on 1. Leonin Arbiter, potentially. Thalia. Thalia's a beating here. Oh, crap. Oh, God. Yeah, so we can't play anything because Thalia cuts us off there. Putting on their black-white Death and Taxes deck. There's an Eldrazi Displacer, so let's see if we can hit a land here. Because Liliana downtick is going to be pretty important if we want to stay in this game. I mean, I don't think it was that greedy to pitch lands, but maybe it's because I didn't consider Thalia as a potential option. And now we're just totally locked out of the game. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I got greedy. One doesn't really have to commit anything at all right now. And oh, that's probably good game. Unless we draw like exactly Bolt. Yeah. Wow. Jeez. And now they even saw that we're a Faithless Looting Tormenting Voice deck. They're gonna bring in Rest in Peace. So Anger of the Gods seems good. Liana seems good. Wear Tear seems reasonable. Definitely want to just cut that. Cut some of these. Cut the Empyreans. We're probably gonna see some number of Path to Exile. And cut one Tormenting Voice maybe. Still got 8 targets here with 3 refurbishes to buy them back. I'm losing all faith in this deck. Losing all faith. Opponent's probably like, I don't even need to sideboard against this junk that my opponent is playing. And you know what? I probably agree. Alright, well, no double black again. That's kind of scary. But we do have the Lightning Bolt, which means I'm inclined to keep. A Faithless Looting would be nice. We can, like, pitch this, refurbish it back, hopefully by turn 4. Thraben Inspector. Alright, that's a 1-drop. Another Gearhulk, eh? So the reason I'm going to play out the Plains is because I want to be able to Lightning Bolt through a Thalia. Yep. Can't say we didn't see that one coming. Classic mana base. And you know I'm going to draw the Blackleaf Cliffs next turn. You just know it. Alright, there's the Arbiter. Yeah, Ghost Quartering now doesn't really do anything. Could Ghost Quarter on my upkeep. Excuse me. Yeah, but they're just gonna bolt me. I mean, they're just gonna Ghost Quarter me. So I'm just gonna sit tight. I guess I can do this on end step. Although now they have Restoration Angel up. Yeah, maybe I wasn't supposed to do that on end step. Ooh, they're tapping the Ghost Quarter. Yeah. Probably want to hold that up just for a little bit longer. Displacer. Crap, that card is good. Yeah, I think we definitely have to bolt the Displacer. Untapped land, please. I guess I just keep holding up here. And now they can just crack the clue as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think we are a little ambitious thinking this deck could stack up against any type of aggressive or disruptive deck. I mean, we played against Burn, and we're a 4x Collective Brutality deck, and we played against Control. So, yeah. And now they're going to take this Collective Brutality. We're very screwed. I mean, Nahiri answers Rest in Peace, but at this point, we're so far behind on board. I think like we need exactly an Anger of the Gods to ever really come back here. Again, not hitting our lands, so I wonder if this is the kind of deck that just needs a few more land drops. Because if our backup plan is to hardcast these Gearhulks at 6 mana, we definitely need more than 23 lands. So that's a lesson as well. All right, I'm gonna pack it in here. I don't think we really have any outs left anymore, so Opponent's got the Rest in Peace. They have the Ghost Quarter, Leonin Arbiter lock. So just gonna pack it in here. Got our 20 play points back. This is why I do a friendly league with this, because I don't want to commit 120 play points and then lose them all. So here I committed 80 play points and I lost 60 of them. Got back 20 of them. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this deck in the closing comments. That was a pretty brutal finish there, 1-4. I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright, what's up folks? Welcome back to the closing comments here with Mardu Gearhulks. Let's go ahead and talk about the deck. We finished 1-4 in a friendly league, and that's very kind of disheartening. Like, it definitely confirms in my mind that the first 3 matches in our Brew Trials were either against unexperienced opponents or completely flukes or good draws, solid variance. Now you could argue that this 1-4 result was also variance, but at the same time I think we have fundamental deck building flaws here, and for the modern format, if you're going to do something that relies on the graveyard, I think it needs to happen before turn 4. So the problem with refurbish into some dumb Gearhulk here is the fact that that's just a very mid-rangey thing to do, and you're easily disrupted by so many things in the format that how can you reasonably play this deck, right? So obviously it was a part of the Brew Trials. We had fun, we tried it out, thought, hey, maybe this could work. Combustible Gearhulk is a pretty sweet Magic card, but ultimately it seems like this might just not be working correctly in this shell. There's some good things going on here, some bad things going on here, and I think I've identified the good things, which is the mid-range aspect, right? This whole part, Nahiri, Liliana, Bolt, Collective Brutalities, Faithless Lootings, I think that's like the best part of the deck. And then like awkwardly we then have like this half of the deck that doesn't seem to be able to compete in the modern format. Like, it's doing cool things, but they're just not powerful enough. Like, aggro decks both disrupt you and kill you by that point. Control decks have plenty of counter magic or win conditions already set up by that point. And the things that you're doing don't exactly end the game on the spot. Jace on turn 4 on an empty board, some might argue that that could end the game on the spot. As we saw our opponent, Feldar Guardian in conjunction with Saheeli, that ends the game on the spot by turn 4. Humans by turn 4 has like a Vial on 3 and like 3 mana available. They can just do a whole bunch of things, right? So I can't in my right mind say that this half of the deck is actually good. I think there are plenty of Mardu shells that you could rely on the graveyard, and I think a cool one would be Goryo's Vengeance. There was one that I played a while back, was played against. It was Goryo's Vengeance and Mardu with Torgar. When he enters the battlefield, target opponent loses half their life total. And then so he's a 7/6, and so you on turn 2, turn 1 you ideally Faithless Looting, and turn 2 you Goryo's Vengeance it back. You put your opponent from 20 to 10. Torgar attacks your opponent for 7, puts them to 3, and then you also play 4 bolts and 4 lingering souls in the deck. So you have this eventuality of cleaning up the opponent. You also play like Gristlebrand as well. So I think I like that over a graveyard-based synergy deck like this. So obviously, this was a Brew Trials episode. We were following up on some preliminary results we got in episode 3. Ultimately, though, it just doesn't seem to hold up. And it's important that we do tests like these to know whether something is a fluke or something is legitimate magic. And I think I can confidently say that I probably won't be revisiting Mardu Gearhulks for a very long time unless some new card gets printed, some new dumb artifact that makes Refurbish actually playable. But that's, I think Refurbish plus anything is going to be mostly just a standard strategy moving forward. I think our sideboard was pretty cool. I think I had a lot of things to bring in most of the time, so I do like this sideboard. But I definitely don't like this whole aspect of the deck. It's just not powerful enough. Now there's definitely ways to continue exploring this archetype with a more prison-based strategy. You could play like Simian Spirit Guides, and you could play Chalice of the Voids and Blood Moons and things like that, and go like completely red-white. But then I think losing Collective Brutality is a pretty big game. Brutality being both interaction and a discard outlet is means it's one of the best cards in your deck. So that's going to be my feelings on the deck. Hope you enjoyed this follow-up series for the Brew Trials for Mardu Gearhulks. Let me know if you enjoyed that, and you know, I think in the future, if you see like a Friendly League tag on one of my videos in the title or something like that, you can be rest assured that it's probably a follow-up to the Brew Trials. I'm not going to play Friendly Trials, you know, anywhere else really. But thank you all so much for watching this Friendly League follow-up trial from episode 3. And I hope you enjoy some of the more content I have coming up later this week. I got Black Red Pack Rat Moon, I got Grixis Delver, and maybe some other things that I haven't quite planned yet. But stick around and stay tuned to the channel, and I'll see you guys later.